Love is Blind Season 2 has kept me guessing this whole time, and the finale was no different. The 5 couples prepared to say I do, or I don't, in Friday's finale, and it was definitely not what I expected. I'm gonna level with you, I only got 1 out of 5 outcomes guessed correctly. And then there was the Natalie and Shayne of it all. Oh my gosh, we have so much to recap before the next reunion. I'm Anna Rumor, and this is Pop Culture Social Call. When we left off before the wedding episode, Nick was busy sweating through about 8 layers after Danielle said, I do. Now, obviously, these two have had their problems. I don't think they've made it through a single scene where I wasn't convinced they hate each other by the end. So you could have absolutely knocked me over with a feather when Nick said, I do. I get that Love's blind, but does Love have amnesia? Because I have seen no evidence that this pairing will be anything less than miserable. Maybe Nick just didn't want to look like a jerk on TV? I don't know, we're gonna have to watch the reunion to find out what happens with these two. Next up, we had Deepti and Shake, and I was the one sweating for this one. We've watched all season as Shake looked at the gorgeous, funny, kind woman in front of him who was endlessly patient with his weird fat phobia in the pods and said, I don't know, is she hot enough for me? Now, I didn't know how much of his Deepti was catching on to, but she proved her queen status when she got up to the altar and said, no thank you. She told Shake that while he meant a lot to her, she deserved someone who knows for sure about her. So she was choosing herself and saying no. She knows the person who's the one for her would make her feel like the one for them, and Shake never did that. Cut to Shake awkwardly spiraling at the altar like, no, I was gonna say no, so it's good that she said it first, and whatever, I have a reservation at Nobu tonight. I definitely didn't get rejected on TV. Ugh, bullet dodge, Deeps. Ooh, next up we have Natalie and Shayne, and these two have taken me on a wild ride since Shayne was still asking Shayne about her crop top 5 times a day. Since the pods, I admittedly have grown to be like, are Natalie and Shayne kind of perfect for each other? And then he threw a fit about not hitting a baseball, and I was like, all right, thanks for the perspective check, universe. So I was like 100% confident these two were gonna say yes until the actual wedding day, when Natalie reveals they got into a huge fight the night before, in which Shayne said he hated her, she was the worst thing to ever happen to him. Wait, are we sure he wasn't talking to a baseball? Shayne was like, ugh, I hope Natalie doesn't let that ruin our wedding, which like, it's been less than 24 hours. I let an awkward interaction with a cashier linger in my brain longer than that. And it turns out Natalie does too, because she tells Shayne that while she loves him, they clearly have huge issues and she's not marrying him. Well, Shayne's got to understand that, right? I mean, he's the one who did it. Nope, he says there's no way I'm gonna effing come back to her after that. What a charmer. Now it's time for Mallory and Sal, and I'm just gonna say it, I have not seen it for these two literally the whole time. They're not as dramatic as the other couples, but I think Mallory dies a little inside every time Sal breaks out his ukulele, and she really hasn't gotten over her feelings for Jarrette in the pod, it seems like. Though color me surprised when Sal is the one who says no. I honestly had to question everything I knew at this moment. Mallory was like, okay, that's totally fine, and then they have a conversation afterwards about how they were both unsure, and I was like, wait, this is kind of nice? Okay, now I'm thinking these two actually could get back together, or at least be friends. I don't know, I'm thrown for a loop. I have no idea what's going on. Last, we have Iyanna and Jarrette, my favorite couple of the season, despite her weird no gifts from exes policy and his little flirty with Mallory staying out till God knows when in the morning. I was about to be like, damn, we're really gonna leave this season with the conclusion that love may not be blind. I was not convinced. But luckily, these two both said I do. This honestly gave me the warm fuzzies, and I will personally be heartbroken if they are not still together when the reunion drops on Friday, March 4th. Like I said though, I only guessed 1 out of 5 couples right for the wedding episode, so you gotta make your own reunion predictions. Like and subscribe for more recaps and interviews, and head over to popculture.com for the latest in entertainment news. Until next time, I'm Anna Rumor, and this is Pop Culture Social Call.